Alright guys, today we're going to talk about box and whisker plots. Box and whisker plots are a really neat way to represent data. They may seem like they're pretty complicated, but they're really not. I'm going to break it down for you in a couple of steps. So we're going to start off with looking at our data, which is the ages of dogs in the neighborhood. And the first step is to find the median of the entire data set. And we will do that by organizing the data from least to greatest. We have 10 pieces of data here, so our median two numbers are going to be 5 and 5, which when we average together and then add them together and divide by 2, we're going to end up with 5 again. But you can see here that we have our data broken into two pieces, the lower 50% and the upper 50%. It's broken in half by that line. Okay, so we now have our data, all of our numbers broken into two separate pieces that are equal. They both have 5 numbers. And then if you look over here over to the right, I've put what's called a 5-number summary. Those 5 numbers that we're going to develop from our pieces of data are going to be what's going to drive our box and whisker plot. So we have our median indicated, and that is 5. So what we're going to do next for our second step is to take the lower 50% of the data. Okay? So we're going to take this portion here, and we're going to find the median of that portion. So this 50% has only 5 numbers in it. The 2, the 3, the 3, the 4, and the 5. So when we find the median of that, we end up with 3 as our median. Okay? And that is also what's called the first quartile. Okay? The first quartile. And so we're going to indicate that on the right-hand side there with a Q1. Okay? And that is a 3. Now if you look here, I've got 25% and 25% there. I've taken my 50%, my lower half of the data, and broken it up again. Okay? In this case though, this is 25% and 25. Add that together, that equals a 50%. Notice that the 3, the median, or the first quartile number is not included in that. There are 2 pieces of data here and 2 pieces of data there. Okay, so everything is equal. Next we move on to the third quartile. Okay? The third quartile is looking at the upper 50% of the data. Okay? And by doing that, we're going to kind of do the same thing. We're going to look at the numbers from the upper 50% of the data, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 9, and the 10. We're going to find the median of that set. In this case, it's going to be 7. That is going to be what's called the third quartile number, okay, or Q3. Again, I have the data broken down. That upper 50% is broken down into another two pieces, okay, 25%, 25%, which again would add up to 50%. And again, that median number is not included. Each section here includes 2 pieces of data. So we have 2 pieces here in the upper 50 or lower 50%, and then 2 pieces here and 2 pieces here in the upper 50%. So you can see that each portion of the data has an equal 25% of our entire data set. The next step, okay, is to find the lowest number and the greatest number, okay? Those are called the extremes. So the lowest number in our data set is a 2, and our greatest number is a 10. So the lower extreme, or the LE, is 2, and the UE, or the upper extreme, is 10. And so if we look at the right here, we have our 5-number summary, which is our median of 5, our first quartile or Q1 of 3, our third quartile of 7, our lower extreme of 2, and our upper extreme of 10. And we're going to use those numbers to drive the creation of our box and whisker plot. So, using those numbers, let's create a box and whisker plot. And you can see I've already done that for you. Okay? But let's talk about this. So, below here, okay, it says we're going to plot out your 5-number summary, and here are our numbers. In black we have our median, which is 5, black horizontal or vertical line. Our lower extreme and upper extremes are in blue. Our lower extreme is 2, upper extreme over here is 10. Our lower quartile or first quartile is 3, and our upper quartile is 7. So we draw those lines in first. So our next step, step 6, okay, is to draw a box from the quartile 1 to the median. So we're going to take our green marker and draw the box there, okay, from quartile 1 to the median, and then from quartile 3 to the median. Okay, so we've created the box first. After that, okay, we're going to draw a line from the first quartile, which is a 3, down to the lower extreme, which is a 2. Just a straight line. And then we're going to draw a line from the third quartile, which is a 7, all the way out to our upper extreme, which is a 10. And that completes the construction of the box and whisker. Now, there's one other piece of data that's not included into the 5-number summary. I kind of think it should be. I don't understand why it's not. And you'll be asked a lot of questions on it. Okay? And that number, or that information, is what's called the interquartile range, or the IQR. And the interquartile range means basically what is the range, and we know what the range is, which is taking the largest piece of data and the smallest piece of data and finding the difference between the middle two quartiles, or the first quartile and the third quartile, I'm sorry. So what we would do is take our third quartile number, which is a 7, and subtract the first quartile number, which is a 3. Okay, so when we take 7, we subtract 3, the difference is 4. That means our IQR is 4 for this data set. So this is the basics on a box and whisker and how to construct it. We're going to be doing a lot of practice with this in class. So I look forward to working with you. Osu!